Kevin Camps is with us right now. Those of you who hear our newscasts know that in our newscast today, every day now we're reporting the radcast.org statistics. They say that the alert level is 100 counts per minute, and Frederick, Wisconsin today is averaging 59 counts per minute, but it's spiking at 74. Three different cities in Arizona, Chino Valley, Prescott, and Tucson, they're all averaging around 60 counts per minute or above. The East Coast today has seen some high levels, 63 counts per minute in Charleston, North Carolina, 71 in Salisbury, Mass. And Radcast has issued a warning about hot rain in Salisbury, Mass. If you're in Salisbury, Mass, and it's raining, get out of the rain. It's spiking at over 120. Radcast reminds us that anything over 100 counts per minute is what they consider an alert. Kevin Camps with BeyondNuclear.org is on the line with us. He's the radioactive waste watchdog with Beyond Nuclear. And Kevin, welcome back to the program.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. What do those Radcast numbers tell you, Kevin?
You know, I need to start carrying my Radalert handheld monitor again, it sounds like. You know, I'm used to levels around 10 to 20 counts per minute. I'm from West Michigan, and I used to carry a Radalert regularly, and that's what I would get all the time. And, you know, when it spikes, you know there's perhaps something going on. So I would set my alert level at 30, and once in a while it'll just jump up that high. Who knows what that was? Could be cosmic radiation, but there have been times when I've gotten very high readings, and it was because there was something going on, and I was then able to figure out what it was.
Yeah, well, speaking of something going on, any of us who live anywhere near the jet stream are according to Helen Caldicott, in the position to pick up whatever goes on at Fukushima. What's going on at Fukushima?
Well, you've still got the regular daily radioactive releases into the ocean that are traveling with the groundwater, some 72,000 gallons per day of radioactive groundwater flown into the ocean. But then you've got something very significant about to start in a couple weeks. They just gave permission at the Nuclear Regulation Authority of Japan to Tokyo Electric to start removing the high-level radioactive waste from the Unit 4 pool in that badly damaged building. In a couple weeks from now, they're going to start using a crane to pull those irradiated fuel assemblies out of that damaged pool.
Now, I read that the way that they make fuel rods is sort of like, you know, packing a cigarette. You've got this outside tube, and then inside, instead of tobacco, or maybe a better analogy would be if you were to cut the ends off a fluorescent light bulb, you know, fluorescent tube, one of those long fluorescent tubes, and fill it full of batteries. And so you'd have one giant long battery, right? That there are these cells, these pieces of radioactive material, super enriched uranium and whatnot, that are in these tubes. And the tubes are made out of zirconium, and that zirconium, when it's exposed to the air, catches on fire if it's at all warm. Is that true? And if that's the case, how are they going to pull these things out of a water pool without bursting into flames and causing a disaster?
Well, your cigarette analogy is apt. Arnie Gunderson at Fairwinds Associates in Vermont has compared the situation in the Unit 4 pool to a pack of cigarettes that has been crushed. You know, and usually it's easy to get a cigarette out of a pack, but when they're crushed, it's hard to get them out. And he points out that these fuel rods have experienced the earthquake for one thing. They've experienced that big explosion that destroyed the reactor building for another thing, and he warns that they are likely bent, they are likely badly corroded because salt water was used at one point to cool them, and they may be damaged, and pulling them out may be the final straw that causes their disintegration into, pellets. The pellets of uranium could just fall to the bottom of the pool. You don't want that, because enough of those pellets in one place, you've got a critical mass, you could have a nuclear reaction. The dilemma is they have to get the waste out of the pool, because another big earthquake could collapse that building, drain the cooling water away, and now you've got a radioactive inferno that will dwarf what we've seen so far in the last 2 years and 8 months.
Would it be a scenario like Chernobyl or like Nagasaki?
Well, Chernobyl would be a more appropriate comparison because we're talking commercial nuclear power plant, nuclear fuel, but it would be unprecedented. Yeah, there were 200 tons of nuclear fuel at Chernobyl that first caused an explosion and then burned out of control for 10 days. So that's getting closer to what we're looking at. But what we're looking at Fukushima Daiichi Unit 4 is more like 150 tons, okay, less than Chernobyl. but no radiological containment whatsoever. And once that pool water's gone, you've got deadly doses of radioactivity. Human beings cannot approach. Even people in helicopters would be exposed to dangerous levels. And it'd be impossible to put that fire out at that point. It would be just unimaginable radioactivity releases directly into the environment.
Would it be an exaggeration to say that TEPCO is about to begin the most dangerous experiment in the history of the human race?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of competition, right? I mean, there's god-awful wars in Africa going on. There's all kinds of crises going on in the world. But certainly, in terms of the radioactivity that's there, the potential for fire, it's a global risk that's about to take place, and this for-profit, incompetent, dishonest company called Tokyo Electric Power Company, by some absurd reason, is in charge of this process. You know, the Japanese government should be in there, the United States government should be in there, the United Nations should be in there. The best and brightest minds in science, technology, and engineering should be involved in this decision-making, and they're just not.
My original question to you about the zirconium tubes, I don't think you quite answered, and not that I think you're being evasive. I just want to be clear on the answer to this. If these tubes are combustible, and they're going to pull them out of a water pool into the air, how do they do that without them catching on fire, even if they're not crushed?
Well, the way it would work is they would load a transfer cask down into the pool. That's the radiation shielding. They would put the fuel into that transfer cask, pull the cask out of the pool, and that's the radiation shielding so that the nearby workers don't get deadly doses of gamma radiation. They would lower that cask to the ground level and take the fuel then out of the transfer cask and put it into a more permanent, I guess you could say, ground-level dry cask for storage.
So they're going to pull the individual pellets out of the tubes and leave the tubes in place?
No, the tubes are bundled into assemblies, and those would stay inside these dry casks. And they have a ground-level pool at Fukushima Daiichi. Right. That can be a temporary holding place until they can get it into these more permanent dry casks for storage.
So these rods can be exposed to the air for a period of time without a danger of combustion?
Yeah, the transfer casks and the storage casks do have cooling mechanisms built in, and it's not water-based. It's more convection currents of air that carry away the heat.
I see. So it's just a matter of keeping them below the temperature at which zirconium bursts into flames.
Yeah, the ignition temperature of zirconium is something like 2,000 degrees and maybe a little bit lower than that. And once it hits that, it will spontaneously combust, and it's an exothermic, self-perpetuating reaction.
Wow, like magnesium.
Yes.
Amazing. Kevin Kamps, the radioactive waste watchdog at Beyond Nuclear, beyondnuclear.org. Check out the website. Kevin, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Tom.
I think thanks for being with us. I mean, this is pretty scary news. Keep us up to date, would you?
Scarier than Halloween.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Today's Halloween, and Mercury's retrograde, and they just decided to do this. Kevin, thank you very much. We'll be right back.